Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel URIEL. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And you know, everybody need chalkboards and boards and shit like that. I'm gonna do this shit with my hands. I'm gonna do this shit like God did it. So I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers like this. I'm gonna give y'all, this is the universal model. This model I'm finna give y'all is where everything in existence even came from. I don't care what you think of in the world. Math, science, religion, I don't care what you think of. Japanese religion. Look, I was on this, you gotta listen to me. I'm Archangel Uriel. I was on this earth before all of that. I was on this earth before all of that. Before the first religion, everything. So look, I'm finna give you the model. And I'm finna give you the basic construct. And I'm gonna let you understand right here. To picture this. This is all space, right? But this point of reference I make, I want you to look at space. Now, I need you to understand this before I even get into anything. By your human mind experiencing duality with two eyes and two arms and two everythings, and this is the only way you're going to be able to see your conscious perception. You're only going to be able to see this as being more space. That's the only way you're able to construct it due to the human mind and the confusion amongst the right and left brain and the spirit that brings it all together. So now that I said that, now I don't have to go keep running back to that when I express this model to you. Now, as a regular human who's not going to understand and want to refute me, here's the claim I'm stating is because your human mind can't understand another realm of reality, and you're gonna have to experience this more and more times. But I'm letting you know right now the reason to that is because you're confused amongst the right and left brain. And when I explain this construct and this model, the only way your human mind is gonna be able to understand it is by just looking like more space or being more space. So that's just for all the people who may not understand. So right now let's get into the construct. Now. Right now, you have space. That's zero. This is where this model is going to be where everything comes from. Dimensions, degrees, everything. And we're going to break it down. Yin and yang, everything. You have a space, right? Now this is the space. Now, say this is the dot. This is the point of reference of the space. Because if the space is just the space, it's just a space of a space. It's just a space. Don't ask me where space come from. That's a dumb question. So space. Now we have a space. When you put yourself in a different kind of God's mind, you look at it as a space. Now I'm trying to get y'all to think of things like where I used to live at. Where we didn't have streets. We didn't walk or nothing. We didn't have feet. Now look, this is just a space, right? This space experience isolation. Now, when you're all alone, right, you experience isolation, right? So, and when, say you're playing basketball, right, and you're in a type of mode that's called isolation, what that mean? A one-on-one type of thing. So you need to what? Make more room and more space for yourself so you can get to the hole, right? It doesn't matter. Whatever you talk about, this is where this construct comes from. This is how sports, everything. Now, isolation. Once it experiences isolation, right, that creates temperament. That creates temperature, right? This before it becomes hot and cold, before you could understand the different lights and the different temperaments between your duality of your world. That's why you see it as hot and cold. In my world where I used to live at, it was just one temperament. Now, this construct right here, now, by it experience, this space experiencing isolation, it's a temperament now. You see what I'm saying? Now it's a temperament. So that caused it to move. We know in everything in existence, something has to have a certain opposite temperature to it in order for it to change form, right? So by this space experiencing isolation, that creates temperament, right? Temperature. So it moves into another space. Now, like I said, for you lower beings, the only way your mind can see it is just more space being in more space. But see, it's just more space. It's just space. But in my realm, it's space within spaces. See, we're going to get to dimensions. We're going to get to that, but it's real. Now, when it experiences isolation, it comes from zero. It's a point when it's temperament now. When it experiences isolation, it's a temperature now. It's a temperament that makes it move, right? So to use is more space, but to me, it looks like this. It just moves into another space, right? So now, all this sequence is like a sequence that take place at one time, but it's like three sequences that becomes one sequence. So this is where the Trinity come from. This is where the triangle, the pyramid, the circle, everything comes from. Look, the space experiences isolation, right? It moves into another space, right? Now, remind you, when it's moving into this space, right? This space is still here, right? This is why to you is going to appear like it's more space. But look, this space is still here. So when this space went into this space, what happens here is this space now have two spaces to choose from, two or more spaces to choose from, more viewpoints, which makes this automatically third person. Because now it could go from here and here. So this is third person. So now this is a being, a living being, something experiencing its own surroundings, space experiencing its own surroundings. Now, how do it got characteristics and traits? Let's get into it. Now, like I said, yin and yang and everything, right? So when it had a temperament and experienced isolation and went in from one space to the other space, what happens here? Something going into something, right? This is the creation of in, en, anything that has enter, and end period. The energy of end period comes from this. Something going into something. Now, this is how we're going to separate how we get yin and yang, duality, the number 2, from one line to the second line, which is second dimension, and everything. Check this out. Now, we know something going into something. So we know this is without, this is within. So, and we know this is in and this is out, then automatically we have to tie this to yin and we have to tie this to yang. You say, URIEL, why is that? Here's why. Because if something's out going in, that's almost like light going in. That's almost like life breathing into something. That's almost like something going into itself. That's almost like a dick going into the pussy and then it creates life, a being. A being that it can experience its own surroundings. See what I'm saying? Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. That's what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Entering to another realm of reality. Entering another form. Entering, you see what I'm saying? This is where anything you could think of, even to your button on your computer, the enter button, that's where it came from. Anytime something enter into another reality, enter into another dimension, enter into whatever situation, enter into a paradigm, enter into a program. You see what I'm saying? Yang, yin, light, dark, without, within. You know what I'm saying? What you show on the outside, what you have on the inside. Your outer appearance and expression, your inside feelings and emotions. You see how it's going to start trickling down if I keep talking? How it's going to start manifesting and will into reality of how this is going to be male. How this is going to be male and how this is going to be female. You see you see what I'm saying? How space did that in itself? God is beautiful, right? Now, check this out. Look, now, with the space going into the space, now I explained all those dualities. This is where evil come from. This is where the temperament that was one becomes hot and cold. You know what I'm saying? Becomes dry, wet. You know what I'm saying? Becomes out, was in, which was in, you can't see on the out. If it's a baby inside a stomach, then you can't see it until it come back out. This is where the breath come from. Something going in itself and coming back out. In itself, coming back out. Everything in life has a breath. You know what I'm saying? This is why when you're born, you don't come out the stomach and say, whew. You come out the stomach and suck in for your first breath. So when something goes in, then life. See, this the whole construct. Now let's get to dimensions and shit like that. Now, there's something going into something, right? Now it's automatically third person. So it's experiencing its surroundings, right? Which why the 360 even comes about. You know what I'm saying? This space is a 360. This is why you have a circle. This is why you have a triangle of three things becoming a circle. This is why everything in existence that have a representation of God with it has a circle behind it. Because the ultimate goal is, this is humans' way of kind of intuitively know that their God has one eye, which is your God. Now, I'm not talking about the overall God, but this God, I'm on this construct, is from a one. This is the overall God, but I'm talking about from your God standpoint. See, there's levels to this shit. That's another video. But your God, it's pointing to how your God has one eye. You feel me? And that's why they was pointing to that on money and everything. There's everything in existence that's trying to come. Everything is trying to point to, we have to come one. They just doing it all in their own ways, in their own paradigms and programs and whatever they're into. Now that we know space experienced isolation, went into another space, automatically makes itself third person. That created the three-dimensional realm. You know what I'm saying? So now we know once this space became experience his own surroundings, it go to the fourth dimension, becoming a judge. Now it's the judge of his surroundings. It start to judge his surroundings. So now it's a 360, right? It took the first look it took when it experienced its surroundings will be the first house, the I am. Now it knows I am. That's the first look it took. Then the second look it took before 360, when it looked this direction, that's a whole nother direction of space in the sky. That's okay, what I have. So what he have was previously, I am. So he have itself, so he have the value itself now, right? Itself. Now it goes to 3, right? Then 3 is it communicate with itself. 4, you know what I'm saying? See, this is the outlooks it take once they do the 360. This is where the degrees come from. This is where the pi of the chart come from. And when it brings itself down, this is where math come from. We're going to get to there. All right, now look. Now, when this space is experiencing its own surroundings, right, it do the whole 360, right? Now, the 360, you have no choice but to break it down into 4 pieces, right? Then once you break it down into 4 pieces, you have no choice but to break it down into... And then once it comes to 12. So he have 12 directions to look from in this 3 degrees, 360, right? And the point of references he have is this is where directions come from, up, down, left, right. You know what I'm saying? This is where the surroundings come from. You can look all the way around. You able to do a 360 yourself. This is why, and now we're going to get into why you're able to have your own space. Because look, for an example, if this was the space itself, it needed to make more space, more room for space and opportunity for you. So we know anytime something is added on in your reality as a regular human, you know, anytime something is added on or something is, you know what I'm saying, has weight and is added on, we know it gains density. So we know it goes down, it adds. So when you apply that to space itself, it's going to be more space. So, but it has, if it's this space and it's added, it comes down, that lets you know that the construct that it took to experience itself, that means it had to come down. So it came down. And when it comes down, it comes into more space. So within that space is more room for opportunities and different forms of temperaments of how this originally stated itself is doing that within itself. So it's like a space within itself. So once it go to 3, right, 3 dimension, and it experiences its own surroundings, right, it go to 4th dimension. So it now is experiencing. It's judging. It's the judge of its surroundings. So it's judging its surroundings. So that's how we get when it's looking around. It's judging its surroundings. Then we got 5, the 5th dimension. Well, there's only 9 dimensions. The 5th dimension is becoming authority. Now is utilizing, seeing if these aspects is actually doing what it's doing as it experiences itself, and seeing every time it comes to a full circle again to see if it's going to do that again. This is why the first house is I am, and the 12th house Pisces is the whole, the collective consciousness. But to this being, it's collective consciousness. You feel what I'm saying? So when it does that, right, it comes down in itself and does that again, and within more space. So now once you have the left and right, the yang and yin, they're going to do the same thing this original space it did itself in their own construct. Then that's when it's going to start developing at within time. When it gets down to your remember reality, it's going to appear as positive and negative energy. See what I'm saying? It's not even good or bad yet before it even get to your thing yet. But this is where everything, even in existence, this pick one thing. That's where the all-seeing eye come from. That's where the dimensions come from. That's where math come from. That's where all scientists get their information come from. That's where they get atoms from. That's where religion get their construct from. That's where the Trinity is from. Whatever you name, that's where that construct come from. Yin and yang, whatever. See, I don't know how many ways I can prove it to y'all how I'm Archangel URIEL. You're not going to hear this information or hear it in this way in no kind of books and nothing. But you can't say this is not truth. But if you want to refute me, the only conclusion you're going to come to is, well, to me, it just seems like more space. And that's where you fall short as a human. Because you're confused amongst the right and the left brain. And I want to tell everybody, I want to end off on this note. You have 3 forms. And then God came to you in all these forms and whatever you into. And if you want to say space, and I want to pick on scientists and say it's like this. It's a liquid, it's a fluid, it's a solid, and a gas. And if you want to say the universe is made out of time, space, and matter, I'm going to tell you what time, space, and matter is a higher frequency of time. Time is a higher frequency of fluid, liquid. Space is a higher frequency of a gas. Matter is a higher frequency of a solid. So at the end of the day, when God comes to you when you have an idea That's your spirit. I like to say your spirit is your gas. I like to say your soul is your fluid, which is your mind, your feelings, and your thoughts, your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? Things you're subconsciously aware of. I like to say your solid, your matter is your physical form, your light being, your yang body. See, your emotions is your yin body, your light body is your yang body. I like to say that's your solid. You know what I'm saying? That's how things gonna appear. That's where the light is at. You know what I'm saying? And your spirit is your gas, your space. You know what I'm saying? Your space of ideas, your space of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Your emotional, your yin realm, your feelings and emotions is your fluid, your liquid, your swag, the way you emotionally carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Your actions, your light, what people see from you, what you choose to express, that's your yang. That's what we see. That's your light. That's how you show your authority. So if you want to go to religious matters, God came to you with the word, right? That's the idea. That's the gas. That's the space, through the space of opportunity. You're supposed to leave window of opportunity in your mind so it can show itself. Now he come to you in the physical. He brought all these kind of beings here for you that showed you some type of representation of him, right? In a physical form, something you could see, something you could touch, something that was seen that we can analyze from the left brain, right? That's the solid. That's how he come to you in the solid. Then he came to you in the yin realm, in the subconscious realm. See, the yang realm is the conscious realm. Your light body is the conscious, things you're consciously aware of. Your emotions and your feelings, your yin body, is things you're subconsciously aware of. So then he come to you like that, through your emotions and your feelings, how you feel. And the spirit is the word. The spirit is the word. The emotion and the feeling is your fluid, and your solid is the expression, what you see. You see what I'm saying? And how you see it, and how you analyze it. You see what I'm saying? So you need all three of these. So don't even let no preacher tell you that you need to hear the word and don't blend it in with no emotional feelings, whatever like that. You need all three of these. And that's how you become a true being. And once you understand how to come one with yourself, then you will truly understand how everyone could come one. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn. Archangel URIEL.